That's usually when your stomach hangs out, and on bodybuilding stage you don't want your like gut hanging out essentially. What pulls it in is the lower part. When you
said that he'd been to every shoulder specialist on the planet. It's like, I've spoken to every single person, all of the most expensive specialists in the world. The best thing that I've found is hanging from a bar. Do you have any concerns about longevity? You know, you've done an awful lot of like extreme things to your body over the last decade.
And I just know that I've made an agreement with myself that when these things start to falter and they start to go down, no matter where I'm at in my career, if I'm peaked, if I'm not peaked, if I'm about to be better, I just need to call it. But that's probably the most toxic thing you can put in your body. And I've done it in the past, but I don't anymore.
If you only had 10 exercises for the rest of time, that's all you have in your library to stay as muscular as possible, give me the list.
So the goal is to be as muscular as possible.
Correct.
If I were, let's say I'm competing and I have 10 exercises.
Sure.
All right. Sorry. I'm going to have to count it on my hands. Squats.
Why?
Just overall leg growth. They help glutes, quads, like a large portion of the leg. That
Barbell
will really
back
help.
squat.
Barbell back squat. Super simple.
Right.
If it's my whole life, I might actually do Smith machine squats because it'll help my knees in a little bit, be a little bit easier.
Okay.
Less stability, and people hate me for that, but I love squatting the Smith machine.
All right.
I get a lot of shit for that. Deadlifts.
Okay.
Just to get something that'll target my hamstrings, and so I don't have to take out another 10 of something too hamstring focused and glute and back focus. Pull-ups, so I can hit my back and biceps in one.
Overhand, underhand?
Neutral.
Oh, neutral grip.
Neutral probably, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit more lat and biceps.
Yep.
Make sure my arms are going. Incline dumbbell press. I find incline's a little bit better on your shoulders. So if you're doing it's the only exercise you can do, you won't fuck up your shoulders as much. And dumbbell, it'll just keep you a little bit more symmetrical.
Yeah, I love that. I've always loved that exercise, which is weird because incline barbell press is one of the most uncomfortable for my shoulders.
Really?
Yeah.
But you can do dumbbell?
Yeah.
Most people feel better with dumbbell because you can go in a position
Shift around a little bit
for you. Yeah.
Okay. How many is that? That's 4.
That's 4. Yeah.
Yeah. 6 left.
This is gonna be hard without like. I'd like have to make a list of 20 and cut out. Dumbbell shoulder press.
Seated.
Seated.
Yep.
Dumbbell shoulder press. Yeah, I think that'll help your triceps and shoulders a lot. Maybe a close grip flat bench. Different part of the chest and triceps. Getting hit there.
Yeah. 4 left.
Dumbbell curl. Just something specific.
Brilliant. I'm so glad that was in there.
How do you want to live without doing fucking dumbbell curls?
It doesn't even
for the
help your
rest of your
physique.
life,
I just need it for my mindset.
Exactly, yeah.
With that, are you supinated? Again, this is the only one that you're going to get. Are you seated? Are you standing?
Standing, supinated.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The OG of dumbbell curls.
Just the OG, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got to be one arm at a time. It can't be both arms together. It's got to be one arm
One
at
at
a
a
time.
time, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, 6 is the basics.
Good stuff. Yeah. I think you've got 3 left.
I have 3 left. Think of what parts of the body I'm missing right now.
Calves, probably.
Oh, fuck, yeah, there's no calves in there.
You're not going to get it with anything else.
A little bit on deadlift, but maybe I'll just do stairs on the side and not tell you about that.
Okay, fine. You've still got
I'll
3
go for my
exercises.
toes.
You only needed 7 so far.
Ah, damn. Did I say bent over row?
No.
Bent over row.
Okay.
That'll help like stability, like core as well. And then like lower back and obviously upper back.
Yeah, because the only back exercise that you've had so far is the pull-up.
Deadlifts and pull-ups.
Yeah.
Bent over rows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got 2 left.
Yeah.
Probably like a hanging leg raise, just to make sure your core is getting hit and you're not like fucking up your back. And then this is a tough one. I think I'm trying to like focus on either lateral raises or like a overhead tricep extension. Because I haven't had a lot of like specific triceps. I would probably do lateral raises just to get some meaty delts over.
Fuck yeah.
You just do more.
Well, you've got the
grip.
close grip and you've got the incline press.
Yeah, they'll get
so
hit.
interesting. So Ryan Terry, who I know that you've trained with before,
Yeah.
I asked him the same question, and his ab exercise as well was hanging leg raises.
Leg raises?
Yeah. It seems to be the industry insider ab
I don't even
exercise
know.
of
I'm not
choice.
the perfect person on that. I always try and work on my lower abs because it's harder for me to contract those rather than upper, and that's usually when your stomach hangs out. And on bodybuilding stage, you don't want your like gut hanging out essentially. What pulls it in is the lower part. And when you do a hanging leg raise or like lying leg raise, it hits that part more. And also, like, hanging from a bar is really good for your shoulders and spine. So you're kind of hitting two birds with one stone.
One of my friends, Alex, who basically has an unlimited budget, said that he'd been to every shoulder specialist on the planet. It's like, I've spoken to every single person, all of the most expensive specialists in the world. The best thing that I've found is hanging from a bar.
Hanging from a bar.
Hanging from a fucking bar.
Crazy, yeah.
I think he ends up like strapping up and just hanging from there for about 90 seconds a couple of times a day. I'd heard a rumor, I don't know whether you'd heard this, that because we'd spent so much time as primates swinging through the trees, that the way that our shoulder still articulates, like that position, is still one that's very comfortable to us. And I'm going to get torn apart by people who understand biomechanics in the comments. But there's supposed to be a little bit of truth to that, and it definitely feels nice.
For sure. I mean, even if you're standing in a doorway and you just like do this and you're just chilling, like, you just feel better.
I know that you're quite health conscious about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But obviously it's a very rough sport, physically, psychologically, hormonally. Do you have any concerns about longevity? You know, you've done an awful lot of like extreme things to your body over the last decade. How worried are you about that longer term?
I mean, I think if you're a bodybuilder and you don't worry about that, you're either stupid or lying, to be completely honest. So it's something I definitely, obviously with all my own health conditions from the past, is on the forefront of my brain. But I just manage it as best as I can. You know, there's blood work you can get done consistently to keep your markers on. There's a lot of tests. You know, diagnostics now are absolutely insane. And if you want to stay healthy long term, it's getting something, if something's going on with you, catching it early. So I do a lot of diagnostics and blood work and make sure I'm getting healthy. And ever since I was sick in 2018, my blood work's kind of continuously improved. So I know there's no like negative impact I'm putting on myself. Like I've reduced a lot of the stress and negative things I put in my body and increased more of my health. Like the type of food I give in me, it's not just calories. It's actually the quality of the food and the type of food and everything that I need that like I really focus on rather than just straight macros. I've never been a macro guy, and I'm even less now because I actually care about my health. And all these aspects, like everything I know I need with my body comes from a lot of the diagnostics I've done and vitamins and all this stuff. And I just know that I've made an agreement with myself that when these things start to falter and they start to go down, no matter where I'm at in my career, if I'm peaked, if I'm not peaked, if I'm about to be better, I just need to call it. I know that it's not worth it to me. You know, there's a life after bodybuilding for sure. Who I am is not a bodybuilder. There's more to me than that. And I'll be happy without it. And there's no point in like, that beautiful as this moment in my life is, it's already been a great time. But if I'm going to sacrifice my future life, hopefully with a family and my children of my own, and I'm going to be sick or unable to enjoy it with them, that's the biggest thing I would regret. So I'm staying on top of knowing where I'm at. And if it goes down, I'm just going to have to call it quits.
Yeah. I've heard you say that in the past there was compounds and things that you would have taken that now you're like, this is it's too dangerous. What are the things that for you are like off the table with regards to this is too much, this is too risky for me?
The biggest one is like trend.
Yeah.
The good old trend that like there's guys who literally like base their social media off that now. It's just like a meme of the internet, of the gym culture. And I don't even think people realize the impact that these jokes and memes have on like people coming up who would just see you constantly joking and talking about saying you need more of it to like be better and feel stronger and all this shit. But that's probably the most toxic thing you can put in your body. And I've done it in the past, but I don't anymore. I just haven't touched it in like 5 years.
Why?
Just the toxicity it causes in your body. Like it just comes in, it harms your kidneys, your liver, just everything that takes your body to process it and go through it. It's just not natural. It's not meant to be in your body. And it makes you strong as fuck. And people say they feel like they're on top of the world when they take it. But to me, that's not really worth the health risk anymore. And another reason why I love classic physique is because I hit a weight cap and I was close to my weight cap like 3 years ago. Not at it, but I could have taken more shit and really tapped out and been at the point where I couldn't put on any more weight, or I could actually take less shit and force myself to work harder, be more consistent with my diet and my training and my recovery, and then still get that result. But it would just be a little bit more effort. You know, there's a peak open bodybuilder with no weight cap probably needs to do everything to be the best. But if I can just still put in the discipline and the work and then take out some of the less shit that's hard on my body, then I'm on the same point that I would be. It's just a little bit more effort.
It says it all that you, as somebody who is competing at the highest standard of bodybuilding on the planet, is still finding compounds where you're like, that's off the table.
Yeah.
That's too much.
For sure. You can always find things to take out and things to add in and ways to get better, things that are like unnecessary, and just kind of fine tuning. And, you know, like a lot of any type of success is getting the most out of the least. And what other effort? the amount of work you put in a day, the amount of shit you put in your body, the amount of training even you do. It's just being as efficient as possible so that you're getting maximum result from minimum effort, essentially.
Yeah, we've spoken before, and I think that it's a smart approach that you have of not talking about the things that you use and dosages, because it's just going to result in people doing, if I take X, then equals Chris Bumstead.
Then I'll look like Chris Bumstead.
Precisely.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think that you've mentioned before, people would be very surprised at how low those numbers are.
I think most people in the sport can look at me and be like, okay, he hasn't made much changes in 6 years. Like, and they see me training and they see how consistent I am, so they would understand. But I think a lot of maybe aspiring kids who just want to like maybe look like me or look like a pro bodybuilder, they'd be like, no, I gotta take this, but he's lying. Like I need more, like, to be like that. Why don't I look like that? And they don't see A, my amazing genetics, shout out to my parents for that, and then B, the 10 years of work I put in that has been consistent, you know?